Are we live?
Sign your phone in.
Okay, yeah, I think need to pen to me. Technically, we still have 1 more minute. Today, I'm actually going to be quite separate from them. Is there anybody watching? It usually takes a while.
Must wait a while.
Yeah, okay.
Haven't warm up yet.
Nobody watching. Wah, jialat, today nobody at all.
Raymond, you watch
No lah, no lah.
I'm
Okay.
the first one.
Instagram got 3 already. Facebook got 2. Hello, hello. Hi guys. Thanks for joining us today. We have special guests. Hello. Hello, hello. Is it 5 already?
Yes.
Hey, it is 5 p.m. Hi everyone, thanks once again for joining us for FastKopi today. We have 2 very special guests, but before I go into that, please remember that as usual, we are giving away Fast Jobs goodie bags, which consists of quite a lot of things. We have t-shirt, we have all the other goodies like notebook, pens, fans, but most importantly, we have the Starbucks coupon so that you can have a real kopi on us. Alright, so without further ado, let us introduce today's guest. And the reason I'm standing so far away is because, we need to maintain 1 meter social distancing. So we have to, be a bit more cautious. So, yes, we can pan over. Alright, we're very excited today to have 2 of, members from the security union.
Security employees.
Yeah, Union of Security Employees with us. So we have Raymond and Ardi. So hi guys, how are you?
Good.
Hello, hi sis. We're good.
Okay,
Alright.
so yeah, thanks today for joining us about the future of security. So actually, right, the whole point of our entire week of campaigns, right, is because tomorrow is Security Officers Day. Yeah. Okay. So, why is it celebrated tomorrow?
Okay, can I give a candid answer for this?
Yes, of course. As candid as you like.
Ever since I joined the security industry about 7 years ago, I think the only thing that makes me think about security officers is that they are everywhere 24/7. So I guess the number 247, 24th of July just makes a lot of sense.
Oh my god.
I think that's a very layman explanation from me, but unless Brother Raymond can.
No, I think it's a fine answer. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's literally because it's 24/7 lah.
24/7.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So guys, wanted to find out. Okay. You guys, I heard a lot about you saying security officer instead of security guard, and the problem is that when we ask for questions and when we get comments from people, right? A lot of them just straight away say security guard. But is there a reason why you say it's security officer instead?
This one, I'll take, yeah. So a couple of years ago, we went on a campaign, where even for the cleaners, we also don't call them cleaners anymore. We call them operators. Landscape, we don't call them landscape workers. We call them another nice name. So likewise,
Gardeners.
of course, more savvy.
More atas,
okay?
gardeners.
And for security officers, the name gives a little bit more authority. The idea of not calling them guards is we have already moved away from the guarding model. We are no more the jaga that sits at the door, that look after the door. So calling them security officers give them better pride, and then they can perform better during their time.
Yeah. I think also adds to the element of professionalism in your image. If people start to call, hey, hi, security officer, you feel a bit, your image as a professional, person is there, you see? I think so. That's what we're trying to achieve here.
Yeah, I think changing the name does give even us laymen, right, to suddenly rethink about the position. So I think this is actually very good. And with that in mind, right, I'm guessing there are a lot of changes in the security industry. So maybe you can share a little bit about, what to expect in the future, what's coming up, or even just starting off with an overview of what is the security industry like in Singapore now.
Okay, so in Singapore, security officers, basically you need to have a security license in order to be able to perform security officer role. The other arm of security is the APO arm, typically your Cisco or your ATOS officer, where they are the auxiliary. Alright, so for the licensed officers, we have around approximately 100,000 license holders.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
That's a
Quite.
lot. Unfortunately, out of those 100,000 officers that has the license, only 55,000 is actively deployed on the ground.
So what happened to the 45,000?
So you'll be like a standby, prepare for worst case scenario.
For example, hopefully touch wood, you get retrenched or you need to make a little bit of some monetary,
But I need to
allowances.
clarify here. So
Yeah.
we don't have that in mind because we don't want to make this the career of no choice. We want to make this the career of choice. Of course, we say 55,000, but the real fact is actually we are a shortage of 10 to 15,000 on the normal basis.
Yeah.
10 to 15,000
Okay.
short.
Is this
yeah.
like a monthly thing or just a
It has been
consistent thing?
for years.
Okay.
So at any day, there's always about 15,000 officers short for us.
Okay.
Yes.
That bad. We're that
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So that pretty much means that it's like pandemic proof. It is. Like
yeah,
there's
we-
always a demand.
Correct.
I would say.
So we were just telling you earlier.
You cannot review what we talked about earlier, lah.
Okay. Cannot tell. But it's
But this is for our
important.
viewers.
But it's important to let the viewers know. In fact, we have survived the track of time.
Financial crisis.
We have survived financial crisis.
Yeah.
We have survived pandemic. Even we have survived lockdown.
I think the more they want us, we are now essential workers.
Yeah.
You're very essential.
So even at the worst scenario, in fact, we were not the first to be asked to take the back seat. Whichever building you're at, you're always required to be there. And I think we play a very essential role to protect the building and the premise. Yeah.
So in that sense, this is a very secure job, right? Do you think it's something that the young adults should look into, especially maybe they're starting their careers now, but it's very difficult to find a job because of the situation. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. Okay. What can I say? I think one word that really describes the security industry for me, I think progressive. If I may elaborate, progressive. People could see that it's in terms of wages. Firstly, PWM is there. There's a lot of government initiatives and media coverage about PWM. Wages are going to get higher. It'll be a bit better. But not to forget, with this increase in wages, there's also progressiveness in terms of, I feel, mindset. Whereby as an officer, you need to change how you work things out. You need to upskill yourself. So it's not going to be mundane jobs of guarding. There'll be a lot of technology involved. There's a lot of career upskilling. You can go up the ranks from a normal security officer to a senior security officer. There'll be more added job roles to it. And there's leadership element to it if you become a security supervisor. So there's a channel for you to really progress in your career. And then thirdly, the progressiveness in terms of how you do your work. Basically, it's not just, like I mentioned, just opening a gate manually. Now things can be done remotely. There's a lot of technology development and involvement, and then you can do things with video analytics and things like that. So this will attract the younger job seekers to come into our industry because it's something more robust, more dynamic, I feel.
So something for both me and Ardi, we always ask ourselves this question. Would we want our children in future to consider security as a career? If our answer was no, then we have not reached there. So we want this to be a real proof career of choice because I can survive anything. And even candidly, I can tell you, 11 years ago when I started this, when I told my parents I'm going to go into security line, the first thing my mom told me was, "You serious?
Yeah, I think there is an impression,
There's some, I think we should put that thought away. Security is no more the old security. We are doing very things differently. We were sharing about the body-worn camera being streamed back to command center. It feels a little bit like CS:GO lah.
And I think that there's
I don't know if the viewers, like some of the young viewers are watching.
Yeah,
it.
you all probably know lah.
relate.
Okay.
if I may add,
I'm not that young already, so I don't know.
I think nowadays some agencies also use drones. Some areas which are quite vast and quite big, and then maybe human body is difficult to cover such areas. They use drones. So some of the security officers have to have some form of license and proficiency where they operate these drones. And instead of patrolling, these drones will be doing the patrolling, and then things can be viewed back at the command center. This is how advanced our security industry is going towards. Yeah.
Do you think this is a direct response to the needs, like, the evolving needs, like security needs nowadays? Because, like, if we all talk about last time, right, maybe the threats weren't so real, right? But maybe now there are all sorts of new things that come up. Yeah. Do you think this is a evolution or?
Well, the need has always been there, but of course, what the aspect of the security officer has to change. And in fact, I just glanced and saw one of the question asked, so what are the dangers you all feel?
The dangers you all face. I see.
Got dangers, but don't worry. We besides
We will
us,
talk about that.
yeah, but seriously, on the note of different jobs and how to do it differently, I think we want to really portray a difference here, and it's not like last time already, and it's really different ways of there's even cyber security now.
Yes, correct.
So there are many ways and many pathways you can take, and it's just not the typical sitting at the door, lah. Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about all of this, right, let's say if I'm a young person, it sounds like there's a lot of things to look forward to. So what kind of skills will you think that, people need? Hard skills, soft skills, and what is the progression like? Okay, in the sense of how do I become a security officer? Where do I start?
Okay, so basically to be a security officer, right, you need to complete your basic licensing units. Right, there'll be 3 modules to teach really the fundamentals of being a security officer, and then this is being they have these programs being rolled out at various ATOs, the training institutions, various training institutions. So once you completed these 3 modules, right, then you apply for your licensing through the PLRD, the Police Licensing Regulatory Department.
Wow, okay.
Alright, so you have your license, you have all your certificates, you can proceed to become a security officer. Alright, so on top of that, in terms of career progression, right, you need to clock a number of months first. So they don't want people to just have the certificates but don't have the experience. So you need to clock in to be a security officer first, and then slowly upgrade yourself to become senior security officer. And the good thing about this progression, right, all their job scope has been curated in some way by the PLRD, right? So they know that security officers have a certain job role. As you go up the ranks, your job roles will start to add. There are more things that need to be done.
And more courses you need to attend.
Yeah, I was going to ask, actually, how long all of this take?
So basically, in PWM, we have 5 ranks, right?
Okay.
Ardi has mentioned SO, the normal security officer, lowest. Next will be the senior security officer, followed by the senior security supervisor, senior security supervisor, lastly, chief security officer.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so the entire journey, long time ago, it will take few years to achieve this. But in recent time, they have tried to hasten the pace a little bit, and it's not as hard to achieve as last time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, so any security officer you see on the ground, really just to let you all know, these guys have been screened by the police.
Okay.
Definitely, you need to be clean.
Clean.
No particular record.
Then you are allowed to be given the license.
I see.
So that's one part I think most of the public wouldn't know. That we are actually screened by the police. Yeah.
Okay. So hard skills and soft skills wise, okay, what are maybe soft
Soft
skills
skills,
I think soft skills probably more abstract
But I think for now, I think it's even more that we realize that you need to have proper communication skills, I feel. I think if we look at the surveys that we have done in collaboration with SUSS, we do realize that officers are being abused somehow on the grounds when they're trying to perform their duties. In one sense, we're trying to educate the public and the masses that, they are doing their job. And then at the same time, I also try to tell our members and our workers that you need to upskill your communication skills. That could actually help in trying to tell the third party what are things to be done and things like that. So I feel in terms of soft skill, communication skills is quite essential.
I want to jump in right here.
Yes.
So
You want to communicate.
He said the soft skill of communicating with the public, right? Think about it. If I don't put the person there, I put the machine there. I operate the machine back end. If the person is not happy, who does this go?
The machine?
Yeah.
But the machine won't respond, so no point.
So you get my point. So we are relying on technology.
Right.
At the same time, we are trying to bring the abusers down.
Talking about abuse cases, right? Is there any support for security officers when they are facing this kind of cases on the job?
On the job.
Yes, we do. In fact, we publish actively on the papers for people to call in for help.
Okay.
In fact,
as the union, is it?
As a union. Also, we also allow the whistleblowing channel. So they can call us for whatever work-related issues, or could be a member of public. In fact, we have helped a number of abuse cases. We step in and then we try to link up the authorities to get some justice. So we really want to urge we want to also uplift the professionalism of the security guys.
Okay. Any funny stories or any what was it? Any dangers? Okay, so we have a question here. Have you all encountered any danger before? Okay, and how do you manage it?
I think the licensing unit actually kind of like completes us in terms of in case if you need to perform certain roles, right? You are equipped with certain knowledge and experience.
Do you have weapons though?
Water gun. No, unfortunately, we do not have weapons.
Okay.
But we do have our torchlights lah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Does it like become a lightsaber when you turn it on?
no.
Depends on what you're trying to catch.
Oh my god.
So you're right. Some of these funny incidences sometimes require different skill sets to handle. It could be from catching animals sometimes.
Yeah, I have some places like residential because it's near those forested areas. We have those wild roosters, and sometimes the roosters starts to crow in the morning and it disturbs the residents. And officers are asked to chase these roosters out.
We need to clarify.
Oh my god.
We need to clarify. That's not the job scope of my security officers.
Yes.
Oh my god. Then how you handle? Do you say no to the residents or
we
you
try our
actually go and
best
chase
lah.
them?
We try to tell the clients like that this is not within the job scope of the security. Because sometimes the clients, they might not understand. They just see that there's a warm body there. Can that warm body help at any means possible? Right? Yeah.
In fact, one of the comment I just saw is someone is asking if you need to have self-defense tactics, right? So in another small arm, a very small clique group, these people do the close protection.
Yeah.
All right, we call them the bodyguards. And this pool of people, yes, I think you need to be at least able to, defend off something. Yeah. But if you're a general security officer and just guarding the general places and taking care of the properties, I don't think you need to have those skills to fight off the robber. But we advocate, if you feel there's a danger, take a back step.
Correct. Call the authorities.
Yes.
Call your management. Call the authorities.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Any like personal most like dangerous case that you have dealt with? Please don't tell me it's a rooster, okay?
Maybe you can tell them the worker running on.
Okay, all right. Okay. This is an incident that happened for me personally. All right, during the circuit breaker, so I was tasked to take care of some dormitories. I think during that period, I think some of the foreign workers they are not maybe comfortable with whatever food they were given, so they wanted some of their own food, or they wanted to top up their SIM card. So they're being quarantined at a certain area. They tried to climb over the fence to escape. So our security happened to be there. We had to apprehend them, call the authorities to make sure this foreign worker goes back to his dormitory. So that was something that happened last year.
Okay, but no real danger lah.
I don't have a scary one, but I have a fun one. So many years ago, one of the buildings that I was taking care of, Zhou Jielong came and visit.
Oh really? Jay Cho, by the way,
Jay Cho came and visit. So I get special access. I escorted him.
Are you a fan though?
Yes, I'm a fan.
Did you get the autograph?
I didn't get to, professionalism.
Okay, no bad.
But I did get to see him up close, and I escorted him to the lift to take the special lift up. Yeah, so those are little small pics moments.
Perks, being a security officer. Yeah.
Do you guys need to chase after thieves? Somebody asked.
We advocate not to. Because
So what happens if you face a thief?
So basically, we tell our guys to record and remember as much information as you can.
Oh, okay.
And technically, if you leave and chase after him, you leave your work area. If anything happens to you outside of your work area, who's gonna answer?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we advocate, if you can, just remember as much information as you can. Provide the police with those information. But nowadays, very high tech already. You want to run everywhere, also got camera, how to run.
Okay, wow, okay, good to know, to know. Okay, I have another question. So, we've already covered this. Somebody asked before if there's a possibility to get promoted even though they're just a security officer lah. There is, right?
There
you
is,
mentioned the
there is.
5 steps,
Correct.
5 stages. Okay, another question is what courses do security officers such as those at Cisco need to take to be qualified to work?
Oh, that's the licensing that we mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the APOs one, their track is a little different route from us. Because these guys they need to carry arms.
And then there's a physical proficiency as well.
Yes, they are typically the guys that you see looking after the banks and those high key installations.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, or this either with a shotgun or with a pistol.
Okay.
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
So you need to go through a different set of training. Yeah.
Okay. So what somebody asked as well, what are the various prospects and is there any age limit?
You need to be 18 years old and above.
There's no cap to it.
There's no cap.
70-year-old.
Yes, 70.
My oldest worker with me currently is 87 years old.
Oh my god, 87?
Yes, and he's definitely fitter than
I was
me.
gonna say he's probably fitter than all of us.
Yes, he is. He is
Wow.
definitely. Yeah. So
Wow.
there's we have a cap of entry, but we don't have a cap
For exit.
for exit. But I was just telling you earlier, we are very foolproof. We also retirement proof.
Oh my god.
As long as you're able, you have the passion to serve and protect, you come to security.
And people think that because you're of older age, right, you cannot do a lot of physical job. Actually, no need. When you mature with age, usually these people can end up. They may be higher in rank now. They will be deployed to command centers.
Where they actually manage people,
Yes,
right?
so it's a different role already.
Yeah.
You don't need to be the ground person there. Yeah.
Okay. One last question from me personally.
Okay.
Do you see girls taking up this
Yes.
job?
There's a need.
There's a need.
Correct.
Yeah. Who
Okay.
else is going to do back check and pat down?
Oh, that's true. There might be girls no need back check and no need pat down. We can just do
cannot.
it.
So if you notice, even for airports, before the lockdown, okay. So the airports sometimes they need to do pat down, right? It's usually the girls do on the girls. You don't see the guy patting down the girls. I don't think it's allowed. Yeah.
Wow,
So-
I
so
love
there's
it.
a need, yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I was saying, yes, there's a need for female officers. In fact, over the years, we've been trying to advocate and bring back some of the housewives. And tell them, yeah, you can send your kid to school already after you come and do part-time.
Do you actually have housewives who take up this?
Yes,
There is, yeah.
Okay. So there are like part-time commitment kind of thing,
there are
right?
different work styles.
Yeah, job arrangement,
Yeah,
work
job
arrangements.
arrangements, yes.
Yeah, work arrangements. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Oh, I just want to say Valerie is like very active in posting more information. Sorry, I just realized my pen is there. Yeah, about the different questions that we pose. Okay, I think we are more or less done today. We overrun it, but then I think everyone's still quite engaged here. So that's because you are so awesome.
I think we are happy about this because we are really trying our best to share as much happy things about the industry as much as possible. It's one of the industry that I think really will do well in the future, and therefore your title.
Yes,
The future of security, guys.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
looking forward to more of the youngsters joining us, our industry. Yep.
Yeah, maybe I'll go and sign up.
Can.
Really In between my work here, then I go and do like few
I
part-time
don't know,
hours.
boss around.
My boss is watching actually.
Okay. Hey, don't tell her.
No lah, she's in the chat and everything also lah, so
okay,
you know lah. Okay, anyway. Okay lah, I think that's about it. Any last questions, guys? I think more or less we covered everything. Let me just check. I think no more questions, really quite a lot of questions today. Okay, Valerie says join USE. You also
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please join us. Yeah, we're looking for more members as well.
How to join, how to join?
Basically, you sign as a member. There's a membership form to sign, and then of course you need to be in the industry lah. You have to be.
Need the license lah.
You need to have the license.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so for us, importantly, we want to let the viewers know we really look after the 3Ws. What are the 3Ws that we look out for is the wages, the welfare, and of course the work prospect. And that's something we strive really very hard to make sure it's progressive. So please, we look forward to you all joining us.
Yes, we do.
And as an end note, if anyone is looking for security jobs, you can hit the link in our bio on Instagram, and as well as on our post, you'll be able to see. So if this is something that you want to consider after listening to Raymond and Ardi share about how stable it is and what kind of opportunities, I think this is a good way to start. We also have some courses that you can look at as well in case you want to upskill or you want to find out more. So yeah, we're all here ready and to support you guys. And most importantly, tomorrow is what day again?
Security Officer Day.
All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for watching. Like and share, okay? Like and share.
Usually people like and share at the start of the
That's
video.
right, nowadays.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Let me end all of this. How to end now? Okay. Shit.